you have a monkey in your pants?
Right guys, how's it going? Another pickup video, sort of surprising, and it's another system, and it could potentially be my best haul or my best score yet, if you get what I mean for what I paid for it. Basically, I got this idea from Addy. It was from the 16-Bit Brothers. I noticed he put up an advert on a local sort of Facebook for sale website saying that he was a collector, and if anybody's got anything, give me a shout, sort of thing. So I thought, that was quite a few weeks ago, so I thought, fuck it, I'll try it. Not that I had a lot of money at this point in time when I done it, but I put it up and I started getting offered Game Gears and Master Systems and Dreamcasts and what else? GameCubes, Saturns, everything. And this one girl got in touch. She had Atari STs, Master System, all these things boxed and whatever. They looked pretty decent. My phone's going buzz. So there was one item that sparked my interest that I didn't have. So I thought I would go and have a look for it. I'll look at it, and for the ridiculously decent price that I managed to waggle it for as well. So I will take you to my kitchen if you like, because my stuff's already laid out there, or I'll cut to my kitchen and I'll show you some of the bits and bobs that I picked up today. Right guys, so this should give you an idea of what I picked up today. So you can see, I've put the light on because the lights in the living room's really bad. Big pile of stuff there, big pile of books. What does that say? CD32? Have I got a CD32? Unless it's going to be iffy quality because of this camera light, but there you go, a bit different for you rather than lugging this all through to my room. Some more games. More games. More games. CD32 games. Interesting. So that's, I got all that stuff there because I see sitting on my table in the living room, and then I'll just leave this light on so I don't know how it works. And then CD drive, CD32 joypad, a MIDI master thing, a white light phaser, joysticks, all different variety of joysticks, power supply, which that's just dark because the machine was all like that, and I cleaned it off with some baby wipes. It's perfectly fine. Some speakers, mice, and another light gun there. Now these two light guns seem to be quite rare to find. There's certainly none on eBay of either of them, and that one over there is obviously boxed and, well, it's semi-sealed in it, it's quite old. And like I say, I've not said what machine I got yet, but it must be pretty obvious with this sort of malarkey here. But have a look at this. One huge box, two huge boxes, three huge boxes, and there you go. I'll just put this shot in, a bit wonky and upside down, but that's the machine. So box, like ridiculously, no idea how many floppy disks are there, to be fair. All this stuff, like I say, the two light phaser guns, that one there, look like Master System sort of guns with that one there, both quite rare. CD-ROM drive as well, CD32, and obviously as you saw there, it's for an Amiga 1200, which I will show you in a minute back in my bedroom. Right, so you probably figured out what machine I got because I think I showed you the box for it. But yeah, those three huge boxes of discs, like some of them might not work now, you know what it's like after all these years, but like it must be hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of discs. I couldn't believe it when I went to the guy's house. I was like, bloody hell. And then like I say, those joysticks, the CD drive as well, all the Amiga CD32 games for it, shit tons of games there for that CD drive. And like I say, the light phasers, the light guns for it, rare as well as far as I can tell. Could not see any others for sale, especially a boxed one. Very, very rare. So we'll get onto the machine itself as well. So basically first of all I saw some pictures of what they had for sale, or what this girl had for sale. It was originally her husband's dad's is what it was, and I was like, right, Amiga 1200, that looks quite interesting. I was like, what are you looking for it? And she was like, I see them going online for £75. I was like, well, where do you see them going online for? This is my ex-car salesman spiel coming off. And she was like, oh, eBay. And I says, well, to be fair, I'm not going to pay eBay prices, so if you're looking for eBay prices, we might as well just drop it there, sort of thing. I don't think that's necessarily what they're worth. Blah blah blah, and I was about eBay fees. You wouldn't have to pay, you wouldn't have to have the hassle of postage it, because earlier on in a conversation she did mention that they were going to put them on eBay, but they'd have the hassle of posting. So I brought that back in the conversation as well, and I said, look, I'll just give the money, take it off your hands. And she came back and she was like, oh, £60. And I was like, oh, I said 50 is what I offered her after 75, and she said £60. I said, look, 55 and I'll come and get it, and that's it. And she was like, cool, so I'll show you the machine and I'll continue that conversation. Now, when I got it, when I first saw it at the boy's house, I was quite sort of disappointed, because I thought, oh my god, it's really, really yellow. It's like, it's a bit bad condition. But I brought it home, I've had it in bits, and magical baby wipe just cleaned it up. So he pulled out the box, and obviously it's an Amiga 1200. There we go, in good condition, right? And he showed me it, and I thought, I was going there on the hope that there maybe some additions to the machine as well, because the Amiga 1200 sorry, are quite expandable. And he flipped it over like this. Now you can see the trapdoor bay is open, and that's because I've taken it out just now. But he flipped it over, and as soon as he flipped it over, I saw this poking out the bottom of it. And as soon as I saw that, I was like, yeah, it's fine, I'll take it. I'm like, I didn't need to see any more, especially because I knew all the games and all the peripherals and all the CD 32 games and the CD drive. As soon as I saw that, I was hoping that I'd go there and it would have some sort of expansion card fitted to it, and it had this, which is a beastie. It is a 50 megahertz CPU, 50 megahertz floating point unit FPU, and as far as I can tell, it's maybe got 4 meg RAM on it, but 4 meg RAM there. But the good thing about it is this card can take up to 128 megabytes of RAM, which might not sound a lot, but for an Amiga it's ridiculous a lot. And they're dirt cheap as well, so I was like, a very, very good accelerator card. Crazy. So to quickly summarise, I got all those CD32 games and stuff that you saw sitting on my living room table, the joysticks, power supply obviously, a few mice, 2 light phasers which were quite rare, the CD drive, the 3 huge boxes of discs, ridiculous number of discs. Now they're not old copies either, there are loads of magazine discs, and there's loads of real games in there as well. It's crazy, it'll take me like my lifetime to go through them. And the Amiga itself, which is cleaned up ridiculously well, it was just dirty, which I was pleased about. I was looking on eBay for new shelves for it and everything, because I was a bit like, oh my god, that thing's super yellow, but it was just a bit dirty, so it's cleaned up well. And this card, accelerator card for it, for £55. Now, this card alone is probably worth 3 times that, to be honest with you, or near enough 3 times the price that I paid for all of that. So I was like, I'm still cheesing about it. It's probably my best mega haul yet. I was just like, oh my god, this shit never happens. It was just like, I don't know if I said this earlier on or not, but it was basically that I was speaking to a girl on Facebook. She got in touch with me, and it was her mother and father-in-law that had all these machines. Now it was her husband, the son if you like, that met me at the house. He was a young boy, 25, 6, something like that, and I asked him if it was his, and he says no, it was originally my dad's, he's had it since new. I was like, alright, okay. He was like, you ever used it? He was like, no, I've never played with it or anything. I was like, alright, cool. And like I say, as soon as he flipped the machine over and I saw that expansion board, I was like, whoa, fucking hell, I'll have it. And it's also got an internal hard drive fitted to the machine as well, so very, very happy to have that. Another machine to my collection. I've already got an Amiga 600, but that 1200 will be taking pride in place, because it's just a ridiculous, ridiculous, ridiculous deal that I scored. So I'm happy, if you can tell. I've still got a hairy face. What else? Hold on, I'll show you something. I'm turning into retro games, Stuart 1979, switch that light off. Old school CRT TV. The SCART socket is wonky. I did used to have a little white one, which you can just see down there sitting with the remote controls on the top. I know my room's messy, I've been moving everything about, but Super Adventure Island gameplay, if you noticed the screen was going wonky on it. Actually, you wouldn't have noticed, I commented the screen was going wonky on it because it was going through the video capture, so you would never have seen it. So I got that bad boy for free. It's got component or composite inputs on the front that I can use, but you can't use RGB on it without using the SCART, and the SCART socket is wonky, so I've taken it apart. It's basically it's a nice bit of waffle in it. Dry solder joints on the SCART connector pins, so I eventually found my soldering iron from when I moved house, so I'm going to fix that, get that Amiga fired up and have some shits and giggles. So I'm happy about that. Mega haul! Yay! That's me. As always guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.